Here are a few different kinds of elements, and you've seen most of these before. I've added background color so each one stands out. Also notice that by default, each one is a different size. Elements have default styles which are called user agent styles, and they often include the default properties for box models. For example, by default, headers have a larger font size and font weight, plus margin on the top and bottom, but they don't have padding. And figures, like the one you see here, have margin added to every side. So how do you change their sizes? Let's do a few demonstrations. I've pulled back everything from the previous example and just left the div with some content inside it. By default, the div is just tall enough to fit the content and takes up the full width of the page. This time the extra white space that you see around the div is actually margin from a parent element, which in this case is the body. So let's size it. Notice how it changed with new values? The div is now taller because I set the height to 250 pixels and thinner because I set the width to 200 pixels. But what if I get rid of the height and width and remove the content? Check it out, it disappears. Okay, so from this, let's draw some conclusions about divs and block elements in general. First, block elements take up as much width as possible. Remember, there's always the body which can be styled. In this case, the body has a margin. Elements are always going to be constrained to the space given to them by their parents. So the fact that this div takes up as much space as it can inside its parent means that the width of block elements are constraint-based. By default, they will be as wide as possible. Block elements also take up as little height as possible. See how the div ends at the top and bottom of the text? You could say the height of block elements are content-based, so they are as short as possible. Finally, if there is no content, then the block element has no height. Inline elements follow different rules, but we'll cover that in just a moment. First, how about a quiz?